Oromia Broadcasting Network News. I'm Thomas Kambulat. Head of EPRDF Central Office Shifarao Shugute says Executive Committee of EPRDF will hold meeting on the next Sunday. He briefed media on the issue. Lata Teresa has more on that.
Head of the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front EPRDF office, Shifarao Shugute, reminded the decision made by EPRDF Executive Committee in the last December regarding the current situation in the country, as well as the level of deep renewal activity started over the past years. Based on this, the national parties of the front have presented reports after conducting deep evaluation, he states. Following this, the meetings to be conducted were deferred due to the resignation of the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front chairman and other situations, Shifarao added. The head said the EPRDF Executive Committee meeting would be held starting from Sunday. He underlined that the EPRDF Council Summit would be held next.
As the chairman of the EPRDF has stepped down and the presence of other circumstances are there was no meeting and will not be a meeting for a while. Starting from next Sunday, the EPRDF executive body is due to hold this meeting. During the meeting, discussion will be held regarding the implementation of the decision made by EPRDF. Then other decisions will be made on the next move.
Shifarao disclosed that request would be presented to the council to hold the meeting in August, which was to be conducted in March as per the law.
A request will be presented to the council to postpone the Ethiopian People's Revolutionary Democratic Front EPRDF summit to be held in March to the next August. We expect this will be approved.
Adding that as the Council of Ministers and House of People's Representatives were undertaking the act of approving a state of emergency declaration, the meetings of the party have been postponed at other times. Shifarao underscored that the work of fulfilling the leadership gap would be undertaken in the next days.
For the reason that the Council of Ministers and House of People's Representatives were busy approving the state of emergency, the meetings of the party, which is the ruling party of the country, were postponed to other time. Now, since these things are in a good move, the next task will be fulfilling the position gap created after the resignation of the Prime Minister. Then, the executive organ and the House of People's Representatives meetings will take place.
Displaced Citizens Rehabilitation and Fundraising Organizing Committee stressed that displaced youth should change their living conditions through working hard. A relevant training has been offered for the youths in Adama town. We have the report.
Government has doing with its maximum effort to rehabilitate the displaced Oromos from Ethiopian Somali region. With this, more than 6,400 and other who can manage to work have got training and finalized preparation to engage into work in 10 towns administration and 2 zones of the region. On the final ceremony of the training, head of the urban political mobilization with Opidio's Central Office, Abtamoyla Mikhail, and who also delivered a message on behalf of the regional president, said the Oromia regional government has done a lot to rehabilitate the displaced citizens since they became displaced. Adding, through work with great commitment and discipline, the displaced youth should train the unity of the Oromo people. The youth who have gathered here today, you do have a bright future. There is a person who will shoulder the responsibility of the country among you. Therefore, you have to work in a disciplined way to correct the imbalanced justice in the country. Coordinator of the Rehabilitation Committee for Displaced Citizens, Dr. Abarad Erisa, for his part, called upon the trained youth to work hard and be exemplary. You have to use effectively with the golden opportunity that you have got. After all, you can support others beyond yourself. So I encourage you to work hard. Director General of the Oromia Urban Job Creation and Food Security Agency, Awolo Abdi, underlined that his agency will stand by the side of the youth in all spheres. Some displaced users who have training for their part express their happiness over the opportunities they have got and readiness to work. With the training I have got, I want to change my life, not only mine. I want to change others' lives too.
EU announced that it would strengthen its relationship with Ethiopia in spheres. Surucha Kapani has more on that.
Deputy Head of European Union Foreign Relations, Christian Leffler, said European Union continued the bilateral relation with Ethiopia. The State Minister of Ethiopia Foreign Affairs, Hirut Zamman, discussed with Christian Leffler. They discussed on Ethiopia's role in ensuring peace in the country and the region, on migration and other issues. Deputy Head of European Union, Christian Leffler, stated the Union is keen to work with Ethiopia on multiple fields.
Ethiopia is one of EU's strategic partners. We work together in a wide range of areas, bilaterally as well as regionally and multilaterally. We've had the opportunity to talk about many of these issues today and look forward to continued engagement with the Ethiopian authorities.
European Union Affairs Director General Ambassador Tasfaye Yilmaz said they discussed on the way the Union support peacekeeping mission in South Sudan and Horn Africa countries.
የአካባቢ ጉዳዮች የምታውቁት ነው የደቡብ ሱዳን የሰላም ሂደትን በሚመለከት
The situation of the region is obvious. Regarding the South Sudan, this time is the time that our country is expected to do level best. Due to its chairmanship of IGAD, it is key to work together to ensure peace in the region.
Portugal announced that it would share its experience in agriculture development in Ethiopia. Ministers of the two countries have discussed ways of strengthening their relationship in Finfinne Sere. Let us has the detail.
The State Minister of Ethiopian Foreign Affairs, Hirut Zamman, has welcomed her counterpart, Teresa Rebro of Portugal. The ministers have held discussion on bilateral issues. State Minister of Portuguese Foreign Affairs, Teresa Rebro, underscored that her country needs to work with Ethiopia in culture and tourism, including agriculture as well as other sectors.
We want to engage in agriculture, tourism, culture. All these areas are very good areas in which we can really improve our cooperation. And we are very much keen to do so. And so it was very interesting.
She added that they have also discussed migration issues. Spokesperson of the Ethiopian Foreign Affairs, Meles Alem, said Ethiopia and Portugal have a relationship of more than 500 years. He said discussion has been held to strengthen a long-time cooperation more than ever.
በኢትዮጵያና ፖርቱጋል መካከል በንግድና ኢንቨስትመንት መስክ
There would be strong ties between the two countries in trade and investment. Agreement has been reached that Portuguese investors will invest in Ethiopia in different sectors. Portugal has exemplary experience in agriculture. Portuguese investors are working in African countries like Mozambique and Angola. What makes them different is they have the culture of participating human resource. So we reached an agreement to work together in this regard.
I emphasize that the Portuguese have an interest to work in Ethiopia in tourism sector. Thus Ethiopia wants to share an experience in this regard. Both countries have agreed to work together on national issues.
Well, many thanks for joining us. That's all for now. Have a nice time.
Daawwattoota keenya OBN irraa